It is well documented that in 1953, Nazi mind control experimentation under order by CIA Director Allen Dulles and headed by Sidney Gottlieb was integrated into the back rooms of CIA offices, college psychiatric departments, prisons, and mental institutions. Following World War II, Operation Paperclip morphed into Operation Bluebird, then into Operation Artichoke and Operation Midnight Climax, before finally becoming MK Ultra as it is known today. Back in 1953, the CIA research budget allotted roughly $10 million to be dedicated to human experimentation in the pursuit of mind-controlled super soldiers and spies, involving the techniques generally based upon hypnosis and amnesia, utilizing the effects of heroin, morphine, barbiturates, amphetamines, scopolamine, and other hallucination-causing compounds. In 1977, a FOIA request unearthed 20,000 documents related to MK Ultra after Frank Church and the Ford administration began investigating the CIA in 1975.
We have quite a lot of detailed information, and we will include any evidence of wrongdoing.
As the U.S. Supreme Court later noted, MK Ultra was concerned with the research and development of chemical, biological, and radiological materials capable of employment in clandestine operations to control human behavior. The program consisted of some 149 sub-projects which the agency contracted out to various universities, research foundations, and similar institutions. At least 80 institutions and 185 private researchers participated. Because the agency had funded MK Ultra indirectly, many of the participating individuals were unaware that they were dealing with the agency. Fast forward to today, MK Ultra victims number in the tens of thousands. Hollywood culture celebrates MK Ultra as Illuminati symbolism, whether most people realize it or not. And a dark web of sleeper assassins lie dormant due to ongoing MK Ultra experimentation, and sex slaves, their free will broken under extreme stress from MK Ultra experimentation, walk amongst the highest seats of power, submitting to their handlers' bidding. That is why Kathy O'Brien's story, as inconceivable as it may be to the average American, is important today.
I delivered this cocaine to a remote airport in Ouachita Forest, which I've since identified as Mena Airport. I also delivered a little packet of information and a small quantity of cocaine, a personal stash from J. Bennett Johnston, to Bill Clinton. I delivered it to Bill Clinton, and he cut out 2 lines of the coke, and he did inhale. That certainly wasn't the only time I saw Bill Clinton using cocaine. My sexual experience with Bill Clinton was extremely limited, in spite of the fact that I was a sex slave. It was my experience that Bill Clinton is bisexual, leaning far more towards a homosexual end. All I've ever seen him involved in was a homosexual activity, with very limited experience with him myself. Whereas my experience was much more prevalent with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary is also bisexual, leaning more towards a homosexual end, and it was she who accessed my sex programming to fulfill her perversions.
Be aware that Hillary is very much for mind control. She has the strongest, one of the strongest agendas for controlling a population of anyone I ever heard.
As detestable as Trump's indiscretions may appear to the average American through the lens of a monopolized and propagandized media that Goebbels would be proud of, Trump's supposed war on women pales in comparison to the claims of rape, drug trafficking, and full-blown racketeering made against the CIA-backed Clinton crime family. John Bound for Infowars.com.
I'm here to say, and this is the reason why I came to see you, Alex, is you are one of the very few who are operating under this theory to be an independent American. in a big way. If your calling is media, fine. If your calling is sports, whatever it is, but you've got to be the greatest you can be now. I don't know why they've been successful in pushing everybody into these little ghettos of these Facebooks and these tweets and these Instagrams, these Instas. This is ghetto. This is ghetto. This is corporate. They're taking your energy. They're taking your energy and you're getting nothing in return. Nothing.
They're dumbing the language down. Twitter's designed to reduce the language directly out of 1984. It's ingsoc.
I had a Supreme Court justice tell me to my face, it's over for me. I said, Matt, it's over for you. They've got the votes now to enforce copyright law. You're out of there. They're going to make it so headlines, you can't even use headlines. To have a Supreme Court justice say that to my face, that it's over. They've got the votes, which means time is limited. Time is not forever. How many more moons and sunrises will you see in your life? Rise and fall. There's not that many. It's a small amount. So for people to be saying with this attitude, oh, I'll get on with my life and my greatness sometime. No, you can't.
We're being enslaved now, and that's it. Under the TPP, they admit you can't put a headline to the New York Times. You're sending massive traffic to them. They're claiming you're taking their words. This is insane.
And you had the Justice Stephen Breyer said we need to look at a global law. Now, remember just recently...
Getting it lined up with it.
So they're getting ready for these decisions to come. You thought Obamacare was shocking. You thought some of these other decisions were shocking. Wait until these copyright laws work their way up and the Supreme Court decides you cannot have a website with news headlines linking across the board.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the info war.